السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله على إحسانه والشكر له على توفيقه وامتنانه، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله تعظيما لشأنه، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله داعي إلى رضوانه وعلى آله وأصحابه وإخوانه. أما بعد، أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام ميم. أحسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون ولقد فتنا الذين من قبلهم فلا يعلمن الله الذين صدقوا ولا يعلمن الكاذبين. إخوة الإيمان, we are continuing our lecture series of one of the most horrifying periods in our history, and that is the attack of the Mongolians on the land of the Muslims. With the current genocide that's going on against our brothers in the lands of Palestine, we wish to remind ourselves, dear brothers and sisters in Islam, that there's also a period of our history that went through something similar, rather went through something even worse, that has no measure. Nothing like this has ever happened to the Muslims again. And tonight, inshallah, we shall be talking about the events of the year 617 of the Hijri calendar. The scholars, they say that this year 617 of the Hijri calendar is the worst year in terms of tragedy for the Muslims. In terms of a massacre or genocide of the Muslims, this is the very worst year. One of the scholars who was alive during this time is called Ibn al-Athir. He says, I wanted to write about these events between the Mongolians and the Muslims, but every time I write, I'm not able to. I shake in fear and I hate to mention it. He says, how can someone mention the obituary of Islam and the Muslims? How can someone talk about the death of Islam and the Muslims? And he continues, he says, فَيَا لَيْتَ أُمِّي لَمْ تَلِدْنِي وَيَا لَيْتَنِي مِتُّ قَبْلَ هَذَا وَكُنْتُ نَسْيًا مَنْسِيًّا. Says, I wish my mother did not give birth to me, so I witnessed such things. He says, I wish I had died before witnessing such events and I was forgotten. The following are the events of the year 617 of the Hijri calendar, the worst year in Islamic history in terms of the genocide of the Muslims. Genghis Khan, after massacring the city of Bukhara, the city of Imam Bukhari, he killed over 600,000 Muslims. Thereafter, we mentioned, he went to the capital city of Khwarazm, one of the capital cities, Samarqand, that is in Uzbekistan. So he comes, besieges Samarqand. The soldiers who are there, 50,000 of them, they did not defend the city. They surrendered the city. After 70,000 of the Muslims, they fought bravely and were killed, they surrendered the city. So Genghis Khan tells them, surrender your weapons also. They surrender their weapons. And Genghis Khan asks, where's the wealth of Samarkand? And they show him the wealth of Samarkand. Then, after he had given them a promise that he will not harm them, he started out massacring the entire population of Samarkand. He killed over 500,000 of them, including the 50,000 of the army who left their swords. That's a great lesson for us, Ikhwani Fillah. Courage does not reduce your life by a day, and cowardice does not increase your life by a day. That death that was written for you will come. So it's your choice. You meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala imma muqbilan aw mudbiran. You meet Allah azza wa jal as a coward, or you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brave and your head raised high. These people, they had the capacity to defend themselves. Their wives and their children were there, but they did not do anything. They sought the mercy of this kuffar, and this kuffar, they broke their word as is their way, and they massacred over 500,000 people of the city of Samarkand. Samarkand was not burnt like the city of Bukhara. Genghis Khan was very amazed with it, especially the mosques and the palaces, so he decided to take it as his headquarters for the conquest of the Muslim lands. So he sits in Samarkand and he says to a group of his army, only 20,000 soldiers, he says to them, Utlubu Jalaluddin, Utlubu Muhammad Khwarazm Shah, walau ta'allaqa bis-sama. Look for the leader of these lands, Muhammad Shah, even if he's hiding in the clouds, go bring him. 20,000. In this land, Ikhwanifillah, are millions, rather tens of millions of Muslims living in this land. But he gives this expedition of 20,000 to show how he looks at the Muslims and their worth. He only sends 20,000. One of the greatest expeditionary forces in all of human history. It has never been repeated. These 20,000 Mongolians, what they did, it has never been repeated. So these 20,000 been led by the two generals of the Mongolians. One is called Jebe, another is called Subutai. So Jebe and Subutai have been given a mission. No other mission. Their focus is to get the leader of this land, Muhammad Khwarazm Shah, Alauddin Muhammad Khwarazm Shah. So the here is in Turkmenistan, a place called Urjanda, one of the capital cities. So they go all the way to Urjanda to capture this man and bring him forth to Genghis Khan. They come to Urjanda, but between them and Urjanda is a great river. It's known as the river Jehun or the river Umdaria, a massive river. So the Muslims in Urjanda, over 1 million of them, they feel, those Mongolians cannot do anything. They don't have any boats. So they sleep at night. At night, when these Muslims are sleeping, the Mongolians, they cut trees, they prepare rafts and cover it with leather, with cow skin. And they put their weapons and they remove all their armor and they put on these rafts. And they enter the river with their horses. Horses can swim also. So they swim behind the horses while their weapons are being brought forth by the rafts. In the morning when the Muslims wake up, they find that the entire army of the Mongolians, 20,000 of them, are besieging the city of Urjanda. So when Alauddin Muhammad Shah, the leader, the great leader of this land, he sees this, what does he do? He runs away. So the Mongolians, they have spies. They have Muslims working for them. So these Muslim spies tell them that Alauddin Muhammad Shah has escaped from Urjanda, he's gone to Naysabur. So they leave Urjanda, they don't do anything to Urjanda, and they follow Muhammad Khwarazm Shah to Naysabur. So he runs from Urjanda to Naysabur. They reach Naysabur. This man, when he sees them reaching Naysabur, he runs again to a place called Mazidran. He runs to Mazidran. They follow him to Mazidran. He runs back from Mazidran, he goes to Ray. Ray is in Tehran. He leaves Ray, he goes to a place called Hamadan. He leaves Hamadan, he goes back to Mazidran. He leaves Mazidran, he goes to a place called Tatarstan. After Tatarstan, he crosses the Caspian Sea, which is the biggest lake in the world, into an island that's in the middle of the Caspian Sea called Jerkin. When the Mongolians, they see that they don't have any boat, they can't swim that far in a lake, and this man has escaped, they can't do anything about it. So just look at this man with his boat going away. So Jalaluddin escapes with his life. He goes to the island Ikhwanifillah. He lives in a very poor state. He was the leader of all these lands. No money, no wealth, no food. After a few days, he dies in a state of humiliation, in a state of shame. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says in the Quran, أَيْنَمَا تَكُونُوا يُدْرِكُّمُ الْمَوْتُ وَلَوْ كُنْتُمْ فِي بُرُوجٍ مُشَيَّدَةٍ. Wherever you are, wherever you may be, death will come to you even if you are in 45 towers. Also, he had a choice, to die in the battlefield with his head raised high, but he died in a manner that was humiliating and shameful to him and to his family or his tribe and his community. So the Mongolians, only 20,000 of them, they see now that the mission that they were given, they were not able to do it. So they say, let us do what we usually do. So they come back to the city of Mazidran and they capture it. And once they capture it, as their rule always is, massacre everyone, kill the men, kill the women, kill the children, rape, pillage, do all types of torture, burn, steal, pillage, take everything. So he does that. They come to the city of Ray, thousands and tens of thousands of Muslims, they lose their lives. So after Ray, Mazidran, and this city of Mazidran, even the Muslims, when they were conquering Persia, when Umar ibn Khattab started the conquest of Persia, he was not able to conquer this city of Mazidran. This city was conquered in the year 90s by Sulaiman ibn Abdul Malik, the Khalifa who came before Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. It was a very fortified city. But the Mongolians, in the space of a few days, were able to conquer Mazidran. So they leave Mazidran, only this army of 20,000, one of the most amazing things in history. They go, they capture the city of Ray. same thing, massacre all the Muslims, pillage, rape, steal everything. They go to another city called Tabriz, very cold. So the leader, who was a drunkard at the time, every time he was just drunk, that leader, he gives them a lot of wealth to leave Tabriz. So the Mongolians leave him shortly. I forgot something. After he left, the Mongolians left Mazindran. As they're going to capture Ray, on their road, they captured a caravan. In this caravan, look at the humiliation of Allah Azza wa Jal. Was the mother of that leader who ran away, Muhammad Shah. His mother was in that caravan. His wives and his concubines were in that caravan and his wealth. So all these women, they were captured and they were sent to Genghis Khan in Samarkand. So we have lost Mazindran. These 20,000 have taken Mazindran. They have taken Ray. And they keep sending slaves and wealth to Genghis Khan in Samarkand. They leave Tabriz. Then they enter Azerbaijan. They conquer most of the northern part of Azerbaijan. They enter Iran, conquer most of Iran. Then they go to Armenia. They conquer the entire of Armenia. Armenia was a Christian country. It's always been a Christian country. They go, they conquer the country of Georgia. They conquer the entire of Georgia. By them conquering Georgia, they prevented a crusade happening against the Muslims. For Georgia is a country that has always been fighting and supporting the crusades against the Muslims. Even if you look at their flag, you'll find they have just crosses, like I think they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crosses on their flag. So this army of 20,000 managed to capture all this area of the world and humiliate the Muslims and the Christians of that area. 20,000. One of the most amazing expeditions in history, led by Jebe and Subutai. Meanwhile, in Samarkand, Genghis Khan, he looks at the map of Khwarazm, this great land of the Muslims. And he sees that the main provinces for the Muslims in this area is the province of Khorasan, that mostly is the land of Uzbekistan and Afghanistan and Tajikistan, that area. And the second one is Khwarazm, the land of Khwarazm. So he divides his army into 3, sends one of his sons to Khorasan, another group he sends them to Khwarazm. So his son, I think his name was Tolay, the son of Genghis Khan. He comes to Afghanistan, a place called Balkh. He besieges it. The Muslims of Balkh, they surrender immediately. And this son of Genghis Khan makes a deal with them. He does not harm the Muslims at all. For the first time in the history, they did not harm the Muslims. They kept their agreement. He says to them, I will not harm you, but on the condition that you participate in my army. So the people of Balkh, they accepted to be part of the army of Genghis Khan. So they leave the city of Balkh. Balkh is in the north of Afghanistan. And subhanAllah, if you look at history, even when Afghanistan fell after the war to the Americans, they came from the north, the Northern Alliance. If you look at Iraq, they came from the north, the Kurdistan area. They always come. I don't know if it's a coincidence or they came from the north. So they captured Balkh, and the army of Balkh were told, now assist us, we go capture the city of Marv. So they come, they besiege the city of Marv. 200,000 Muslims, they came out to defend fi sabilillah, the city. They fought for days, very bravely, but they were defeated by the Mongolians. 200,000 of them lost their lives. So the city of Marv is besieged for days and days. The leader of the Mongolians, the son of Genghis Khan, tells the leaders of the Muslims, do not destroy yourselves. Let us make a deal. Come, we talk like grown men and we make an agreement. So he comes out and they welcome him. They treat him well, they feed him well, they look after him very well. He says to him, go bring your elders, your ministers, your nobles, your government officials. Also, I honor them. So he goes and he brings his ministers, his civil servants, also to be honored. When they come, they're all captured and kept in an area and they're beaten up. They're told, give us all the names of the rich people and the business people of the city of Marv in one side. Another column, you write for us all the people who are engineers, craftsmen, they're able to work with their hands. Give us the name, the list of all these people. Number 3, go back, a group of you, and tell everyone to leave the city of Marv. We do not want even a single soul to remain in the city of Marv. So they did as they were told. They wrote the name of all the businessmen and the tradesmen and the rich people of Marv. They wrote all the names of the craftsmen, the engineers, the people who have professional experience in a list. And they went and they removed all the people, the men, the children, the women, the animals, everyone was removed from the city of Marv. Thereafter, the son of Genghis Khan, he comes to a gathering with his golden throne. Bring the leaders, bring the ministers, and he beheads them in front of the population. Bring the businessmen are whipped. Tell us where the money is. Money is in such a place. I've hidden it here. I have a safe here. I have put it in so. They gave all the information. Put them in prison first. We're going to deal with them later. This 700,000 over here, every one of you Mongolians should kill at least 200 and 300 of them. Everyone person should kill 200 to 300 of them. So in a few days, the city of Marv was completely pillaged. Everyone was massacred. Over 700,000 died. Other scholars say 1.3 million died. All this is still the year 617 of the Hijri calendar. We've lost Samarqand. We have lost Samarqand, Masjid-Ran, Ray, and all these other cities. The city of Qazwain, the city of Ibn Majah. We've lost Tirmidh, the city of Imam Tirmidhi. All these cities have been lost. So all the Muslims were massacred. Over 700,000, some scholars say it's 1.3 million Muslims lost their lives. After this, the son of Genghis Khan goes to the next city, the city of Imam Muslim. Imam Muslim ibn Hajjaj has the second most authentic book after Bukhari. Bukhari is the most authentic book from the hadiths. Then number 2 comes Imam Muslim, comes from Nisabur. So he besieges the city of Nisabur, manages to capture it, and massacres everyone in Nisabur. And Nisabur, he does something very strange, this son, Tolay. He's the youngest son of Genghis Khan, so he's looking to build his name. He wants to be the next Genghis Khan, wants to be the next leader. So he wants to build his name. Usually, the eldest child or the most worthy child is given leadership. So he wants to build his name also to be part of the future leadership of the Mongolians. So he says, I have been told in the city of Marv, some Muslims out of the 700,000, some of them will hit them with our swords, but they pretended to die. They did not die. So I want you to do in Nisabur, every person you kill, make sure you cut off his head and bring it. So they started cutting off all the heads of the people of Nisabur. Over 1 million Muslims lost their lives. And they built pyramids of the corpses and the heads of the Muslims. The year is still the year 617 of the Hijri calendar. After Nisabur, he goes to another city, also in Afghanistan. All the cities in Afghanistan, by the way, except Marw is in Turkmenistan. The city of Marw is the city of Imam Abdullah ibn Mubarak al-Marwazi. It's also the city where Imam Ahmed bin Hanbal al-Shaybani was born. And from that date on, you don't hear a city. None of you knows a city called Marw. You look at the map right now of the world, you will not see a city called Marw. He goes to Herat in Afghanistan. Same thing. Hundreds of thousands of Muslims were massacred. This is only in the province of Khurasan, the lands of Afghanistan and around it. The other part of the family goes to Khwarazm. And they go to the capital city of the Muslims there, Khwarazm, where the leader was born. The leader, Muhammad Khwarazm Shah, was born in this area, Khwarazm. So he besieges the city, the Muslims fight bravely, they're defeated, and these Mongolians, they enter the city. When they enter the city, they find the Muslims have besieged themselves in dungeons. Some of them are hiding in graveyards. They're hiding in so many places, and they can launch ambushes anywhere. So they wonder what to do. So they think of one of the worst plans in history. There's a dam, a water dam, next to the city of Khwarazm. So they go and they destroy the dam. Therein, all the water that the dam was holding falls on the city of Khwarazm. And over 1.3 million Muslims, 1.4 million Muslims in one go were erased from history. And the city was forever erased. These are still the events of the year 617 of the Hijri calendar. The population was so decimated, Muslims were so massacred that the population did not recover until just our century. It took another 700 to 800 years for the Muslims population in that area of the world to go back to that level, if it has gone back to that level. Tens of millions of Muslims lost their lives in this year and the years thereafter. The year 617 of the Hijri calendar has ended. The Muslims are now led by the son of that leader who ran away. He's called Jalaluddin Khwarazm Shah. Jalaluddin Khwarazm Shah is towards the south of the Khwarazmian Empire. So he gathers an army in a place called Ghazna in Afghanistan. So he calls the Muslims to a place called Ghazna to meet the Mongolian invaders. And this is what we shall look at the forthcoming lecture. What happened between the Muslims when they fought the army of the Mongolians in Ghazna. That's what we'll look at thereafter.